I'll be showing you off angles for every map that you need to know about. Let's start off with bind. It can be very difficult to hold hookah on bind with the amount of utility that usually gets thrown in here. Meaning a lot of people rather not play inside that trap and for example play on top of the crate from side and hold hookah from here. But this spot leaves you open from anyone pushing from long. Another option is to hold from on top of this crate next to hookah, but unfortunately this wall is paper thin, making it very easy for you to get spammed through it. The way you can switch it up is by going into the corner between the box and the wall like this, and then crouch jumping up. This gives you a nice off angle into hookah. Even though it looks like you're floating, you still have full accuracy, and you're not very exposed, and it's very easy to get out of by just tapping your D key, and you're out. Another nice off angle you can play is by going behind this green box and having just a slight angle into hookah like this. This allows you to see anyone that jumps up onto this box and get a nice easy headshot. If you do dare to play inside hookah, don't hold the common angles like this, but rather hold off angles where people would hopefully not have your crosshair right on them before they peek. Also, playing on top of the box can help, as the enemies would have to raise their crosshair by quite a bit to hit you in the head. Before we continue, I just quickly want to thank everyone for the support as we've grown from just over 50 subscribers to over 1500 in less than 20 days. When holding short from A heaven, you can go all the way into the corner over here like this, to get a nice off angle to short over this box. It allows you to see everyone's head while they're walking past. Unfortunately with this angle you have to worry about people pushing from ball through, and also if people go on top of this box you're a lot more exposed. But one of the advantages is that you can easily drop off after you get one kill by just walking left. If the enemy stage walls off this common spot, you can hop onto this ledge, get a headshot angle to anyone near lamps.
Wall raised. Flag planted.
When pushing long, you can simply crouch jump onto this wall, like this, to get a nice off angle to anyone holding. Or if you want to hold behind when you're attacking A short, you can get a nice off angle by looking through this roof. If you've taken C side, there's a couple nice off angles you can hold. You can for example go onto this green box by simply walking into the left corner. This allows you to get a nice off angle to anyone walking past the logs here. This is very situational. If you want a better off angle, you can crouch jump on top of the box, allowing you to hold an angle to CT, or to anyone pushing out of garage. Another great off angle you can play on C is by going into this corner, but instead of holding it from all the way in the corner, go a bit further left, in a way that you're not exposed to copy, but you can still see quite a bit of C long. This allows you to pick someone off who's most likely looking at side. Whereas when enemies are pushing C side, they first peek this side before they clear the close left and close right corners, allowing you to get a free shot on someone from this spot. For when you're defending double doors, an off angle you can hold is by going into the left corner, but instead of completely hiding or holding a wide angle, only hold the doorway into C. This way, if the enemies start pushing into C from double doors, you'll be able to shoot them in the back. As attackers usually clear a window like this, and when they reach this point, they won't be looking backwards as they'll leave them exposed to the side. So they usually be looking the other way, allowing you to get a free pick. Another off angle you can play in double doors is by actually not playing inside double doors, but outside of it. You can look through the doorway into double doors like this. You would be able to see anyone's head when they walk past here. Another off angle you can use is by playing on this box on the right. Because people usually just clear this corner and then hard clear the left side, so you ignore anyone on top of this box. By using utility or by getting boosted on top of this box, you can usually get a free kill by hiding in this corner. It's very situational, but it can definitely be worth it. When playing on A side on Haven, you can hop onto the ammo crates over here and hold a nice off angle to short by crouching and going as far to the right as possible. This will give you a lot of cover and give you a nice headshot angle to anyone pushing up short. Unfortunately, when you're holding this angle, you're exposed to long. So either have a teammate posted up on long covering you, or for example, while playing an agent like Killjoy, you can use utility like that to give you an early warning if you need to drop off. When you're waiting for someone to walk out of A heaven, you can hold a nice off angle by walking on this metal beam like this. Same with this one. If you're holding C lobby passively and you're scared that someone might push you, you can hold a slight off angle by jumping on top of the side of this fence, which makes you a bit of a higher get on top of the generator by doing a simple jump like this. After which you can hold the A main push by just holding an angle like this. Usually people won't double swing this, allowing you to get one kill and then simply drop off. When playing Heaven, you can hold the door push like this. This can be very effective as this is a very uncommon angle. Unfortunately though, after you get one and your position is revealed, it's very hard to get any more because this box is very spammable. When playing Ace on Ascent, you can go into this little box like this and go to as far right as possible. This will allow you to get a nice headshot angle over this box. After you get the first kill, you can simply drop off take cover behind this box. A nice off angle you can use on B side is this one. By hopping onto the green boxes, you can hold an unexpected angle to lane as well as stairs. You can also do this from the other side, where you can just hold stairs like this and wait for them to walk up lane. When they walk up lane, you can just peek like this or to the other side, or allow them to drop on the side to hopefully get more than one kill. Where you're playing on attack and you are playing against a very aggressive team, you can get a nice off angle to the A lobby push like this. By simply using any abilities to get on top of this house. The same can be done on this side, but this is a lot less effective as enemies have to push way further out before you can see them. You can hold a nice off angle to people pushing into tree by jumping onto this box like this. This also works if you're trying to catch rotators off guard who are making their way from B to A. If you made your way all the way into spawn and your team has planted a spike on B, you can hop on top of these barrels and catch the rotators off guard. When attacking and taking mid control, you can get boosted onto this box to get a nice off angle to mid, or you can use your abilities for this. You can also use your abilities to get on top of this box, which allows you to get an off angle all the way into bottom mid. Playing A side, you can go all the way to the right side of rafters over here to hold a nice headshot angle to belt. It will be a tough shot to hit as you can only see the top of people's heads. But if you miss your shot, you can just crouch down and you'll be safe from any fire that they try to return. You can also hold an off angle by going on a bit more to the left of rafters and looking through the window there's a nest. This will be unexpected for people that walk down belt and you'll be able to shoot them. When peeking under tube, instead of peeking from an area like this or this, go on top of this fence all the way in the back and hold it like this. You'll get a nice off angle as you're way more elevated and you'll be able to escape very easily. You can actually hold mid from attacker side spawn by going on top of this fence. The same works for defender side spawn, but this time you'll have to jump on these lamps. You can see people in snowman all the way from A rafters by hopping on top of this fence. You can walk on the outside of this fence to get a unique angle. This one's a lot more common, but by walking backwards over here, you can see people on top of the crates in B main. By doing this simple jump, you can see people that are pushing past the default plant spot. You can get an off angle in B main by going to any of these spots. For example, this brown box. Or on these containers. Or by using agility to get all the way on top of the crates. This is very situational, but you can actually see people's legs from under this bridge. As well as over here. And all the way back there. By using just a little bit of utility, you can get this very unique off angle that I don't see anyone playing. When playing a ramp, instead of going all the way into the corner over here, play a bit further back so you can see people that are crossing into side. This way people will have their back turned to you if they're looking towards screen or towards rafters. When holding either side of the ropes, instead of playing an angle like this, all the way into the corner over here and look up, as people usually won't check this spot, as they'll be more preoccupied at clearing the left side. When holding B heaven, go all the way to this side of the rafters and stand as far out as you can. This way people won't see you and they will think they have cleared rafters, even though you're still here. But you have to watch out as they can easily wallbang this wall. When holding B main, don't hold an angle like this or down below. Go all the way up here and stand up and hold an angle like this. As because when enemies peek this, even if they pre-aim in this area, your head will still be quite far up. If you're waiting for someone to push out of heaven like this, you can actually do it from further back and see them from over here. On B side on breeze, you can get a nice off angle by hopping onto the pillar like this with a crouch jump. You can hold window from this angle or people pushing into main, but you have to remember that the only way you can get into cover is by dropping off the pillar, so be ready for that. If the enemies are pushing A side and you're sure that your side of the map is clear, you can hop into elbow like this and go onto the bricks. From here you can get a nice off angle into people pushing onto side. You have to watch out though, as you're open to anyone from mid or anyone pushing you still from elbow. If your team has mid control, you can use this angle to surprise enemies in elbow by jumping on top of the box. If you've taken A side on fracture, you can get a nice angle to heaven all the way from side. It's a hard shot to hit it because you have very little space, but you can do some nice early damage if the enemies are trying to retake. This angle is best held with an operator because of how small it is, but it's definitely also possible to do with a rifle. This angle of course also works the other way around, as you can see all the way to bottom side from nest. When playing behind the green boxes, you can get a nice angle by hopping down over here and playing from on the slope. You'll be able to get different angles by crouching or walking further down the slope. After you get a kill, you can easily get behind cover behind this box, as you're not able to shoot through this. This angle is good because it's very rare for players to have the crosshair here when they're peeking out of B main. If you're holding for a dish push and you have, for example, been holding this angle and killed someone with this, next round if you're gonna try to hold it again, use one of these different elevations by either setting all the way back here or even up here, making it harder for the enemies to pre-fire you. Same goes for when you're pushing arcade. Instead of just peeking from this same angle again, try to use the different elevations there are. For example, you can go up all the way on the back without anyone in nest being able to see you, and peeking them from a different elevation and a different angle, making it harder for them to have perfect crosshair placement. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe for more content like this, and maybe even consider watching another video like this one on the screen.